Hey folks, this is Kurt, and we are live for Feature Friday on a Tuesday. Hey folks, this is Kurt Von Allen with Lifter LMS. I'm here with Magic Emily Middleton, and you know what? Let's just cut to it. If you've got a website, any kind of website, sooner or later something happens and you got to figure something out. Whether you're on WordPress or you're on SaaS, you got your own HTML website, something happens, you got to figure it out. And one thing that's really cool is Lifter LMS actually has some tools built into it as a platform to help us diagnose and troubleshoot our site. And Emily's going to show us today how to do this using something in Lifter LMS called the System Report. It's a really great tool. If you had one of our bundles and you submitted a support ticket, chances are they would ask for a copy of your system report. But there's a lot of things in there that you can use on your own to help you kind of troubleshoot your own mess before you get too involved or too far down the path with somebody else.
Absolutely. Let me pull up my screen here. Thanks so much for the intro, Kurt. So like Kurt said, there's a screen in Lifter LMS that most users haven't heard of or haven't seen before. But when we run into technical issues, this is probably the best place you can go to figure out what's going on at a high level. And you'll be surprised at how many issues can be solved just by looking at this page here. I'm going to give you a tour of some of the information that's to be revealed here and exactly how you can navigate to this area. This is going to be on any website running Lifter LMS, the free core plugin, and of course any of the add-ons. Lifter LMS status. It's the first tab called System Report. And so there's an option to copy it for support. So it copies the whole thing that you can send over to support. And the information contained here is just some high-level site information, but there's a lot going on. So let's just talk through a few of the key points that you might want to take a look at when you're troubleshooting your own website. The first one is your WordPress version. It's a little bit hard to see this one sometimes unless you're on the main dashboard page looking around. But version 6.6, so we might say, hey, are you up to date with the latest WordPress? Are you up to date with the latest Lifter? We can see the WordPress version here. We can see the version of Lifter, and we can also further down see some more information about your server. We can see your MySQL version, which is like the database you're working with. We can see some PHP memory limit and WP memory limit. This is like how much memory your WordPress website can use for functions. We can also see what theme and version you're working with, along with all the plugins on the website and what versions those plugins are. The first thing we usually check and support is say, hey, what are all the versions? Is everything up to date? Or if something's not up to date, maybe that might be a source of a problem. And then the next thing we would take a look at is server settings to see maybe you're trying to upload a huge course. Kurt had been talking about this one earlier. If you have a course with 400 lessons or something, because I don't know, I've met some Lifter users who do that, and then they upload their course from one site to the other, you might be maxing out your WP memory limit. So if you come to support and say, hey, I'm getting a 500 error when I try to upload my course from one site to another, we might take a look at the WP memory limit and say, hey, maybe your website is maxing out memory on this. And then a lot of other variables here, hey, I'm trying to upload to my website a certain file size. Maybe the file size is larger than what your website allows. But when we're troubleshooting issues, we might ask you to say, hey, let's try to increase that memory limit. I need to see, or not increase the memory limit. Maybe we want to see the debug logs so we can see if there was an error message in the logs. We would ask you to turn on the debug logs, and that's shown here as well, is are the debug logs on? And that would be a log we can see somewhere over here in logs. We could see that. And there's also a few other server logs that we could get access to find out error messages. But you could do a lot of that as well. This is kind of a developer-oriented area, but there are some things that you can learn about WordPress and how it operates just by checking out the important items on the screen. Some people say, I can't get students to purchase my programs, and maybe you don't have a purchase page set, or students can't log in. Maybe there's a student dashboard page that's not designated in the settings, and we can see all of that kind of stuff in the system report. We can also dig around in the settings and say, oh, which page is set to the dashboard page? It's here. Which page is set to the course page? Oh, it's over here. But when we're looking at the system report, we can see the course page and the dashboard page from one place. So it's another way to view your website, and there's a lot of interesting insight that you can get from just viewing this screen alone. I know it's super super valuable to have all this information for support. And it's also valuable for you as an end user to get comfortable with the information on this page as well. But that's a high level of that report. I'll pass it back to you, Kurt. What do you think about that?
Seeing it all in one spot is, to me, just a huge value add. It kind of helps, if you got that ADD brain and you're kind of going all over your admin dashboard trying to see stuff, it's like, nope, it's all right here. And then one of the things that's on there is, the permalink structure. There's things in Lifter LMS that if you have permalink set to date instead of post name, there's going to be things that don't function properly. And so, we'll see that pop up, and you'll, when you go to our knowledge base, you'll see, oh, permalinks, it says to go in and, flush the permalinks. This is how you flush those. But when you are having difficulty with your website and it's a weird time of day, it's the middle of a Sunday or it's a whatever, sometimes you need an answer faster than what you're going to get, by reaching out to someone on the experts link or trying to get through to support, if you're on one of our bundles, or trying to wait for someone to answer you back on the Facebook page. It's like, what? Sometimes there's steps you can take on your own that get you just that next thing going. I'm amazed how many times, if you have a website powered by, say, a page builder, that something doesn't work, and then you start to freak out a little bit. And then you go into plugins. We've got an update. This page builder can be updated. You update it. You purge the cache on your site, and next thing you know, boom, everything's back to working. But it's over time and experience. A lot of those things become intuitive, but the system report helps organize that intuitiveness. If I'm trying to make sense.
Definitely.
All right. I think that kind of nails a Feature Friday for today, buddy. I think we got that one done.
I think it does.
Well, folks, tune in for these Feature Friday events. I know next week we're going to be talking about using course categories to better organize your site and present it to your users. Have yourself a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.